Hi, I'm Duncan Lee, an ARI instructor and ARI Pro trainer. This video offers pro tips for aspiring or working avalanche professionals to prepare for the Avalanche Rescue Exam on any American Avalanche Association Pro 1 course. If you haven't seen it yet, you can check out our first video that covers the foundations of avalanche rescue here. Go ahead and click the link. In this video, you'll learn the standard for the skills you must demonstrate to pass the A3 exam, how to maximize your time spent practicing, and solutions to common problems during the exam. The Avalanche Rescue Skills Exam is a pass-fail test that every Pro 1 candidate must pass. Our first tip, know the exam standard so there's no surprises. In short, the standard is that you must find and dig up 2 transceivers buried about 1 meter or 3 feet deep in a 50 by 50 meter area. For reference, the size of the search area is about half of a football field. To keep the exam consistent across venues, the search area will be in simple terrain. There could be scattered trees or small gullies, but the exam principle is keep the terrain pretty easy. With a 50 by 50 meter exam scenario, you may start off with a signal, or you may need to do a signal search to pick up the first transceiver. By including the signal search in your rescue practice, you will be ready for either situation. Here's what your success might look like.
Okay, I've got a signal. 63, 52, 50, 45. 36, 33, 27, 21, 18, 14, 12, 10, 9.8, 7.8, 5.3, 4.5, 3.1, 2.6, 1.9, 1.5, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, 1.8, 1.5, 1.3, 1.1, 1.3, 1.1. Gonna probe right there. Strike. I see the target. Got the first one. $17, 16, 13, 10, 5, 6, 3.2, 1.8, 1.1, 1.0, 1.2, 1.2, 1.0, 1.1. Gonna probe right there. Strike. Got it. Whew. And just remember, all this digging is a lot of work.
If you practice well, you'll have plenty of time to do good at your exam. Let's start with some principles. First, practice the exam to the exam standard. So actually measure the area so your search area is at least as big as the exam. Bring a helper who can bury your search targets at full depth. Use a backpack as your target so you've got a realistic object to probe. Remember, a beacon part can help practice some of the skills, but since you can't dig up the targets, it's not the ideal practice for your exam preparation. Here's our first pro tip. To keep your exam stress down, the single best thing you can do is actually rehearse each action. After you've built your practice area, the next key principle for good exam preparation is to focus on doing every step correctly. Practice makes permanent. So here's your next pro tip. If you notice that you've made a mistake, stop. Back up and do it correctly. Rehearse your actions till the sequence becomes second nature, and don't worry about your time at first. As your proficiency increases, so will your speed.
Strike.
The most common mistakes in the Avalanche Rescue Skills Exam broadly fall under one of two very preventable causes: either not managing stress or not remaining systematic or organized. That's great news for you, as quality preparation is the solution to both of these issues. Here's a few more pro tips, specifically addressing common mistakes.
This next pro tip might seem simple, but make sure you know what all the buttons do on your transceiver, including how to suppress or mark a signal. Read the instructions, practice using this function, try it out in a variety of scenarios so there's no opportunity for your transceiver to do something unexpected. This will help you troubleshoot when any issues arrive.
In general, the best approach to using your flagging button is to hold your transceiver about waist level, directly above the signal you want to mask. Pro tip: stand still, keep the transceiver still before you hit the flag button. There's two possible outcomes. Either the next closest signal will display, or if you're not in range of the next signal, you'll see indication to return to your signal search. If you have another signal, stand still. Rotate your transceiver to reacquire the center arrow, and follow that next signal, yelling out your distances, getting slower as you approach. If you don't have another signal, return to the place where you began to follow your first signal. You remember that spot, right? From there, carry on with a normal search strip.
Another common mistake is to get lost in the process, which just ratchets up the stress, whether you're in a real search or during the stress of a timed test. Ultimately, this issue is a function of not enough practice. But here's another pro tip. To speed up your learning curve, verbalize each action you take. This is a really effective learning tool to help you remember, and it has the added benefit of letting others around you, including the instructor, know what you're doing.
Another great pro tip to keep your stress down is to keep your gear organized throughout the search. When you're looking for a signal, keep your transceiver in one hand and all your equipment together with your pack on. The only gear you leave behind through the search should be specifically placed as one of your indicators. Don't leave something lying behind haphazardly. Here's a really effective tip for staying organized and maintaining your spatial awareness throughout the search. 1. Pause, look, and mentally note where you leave your signal search pattern. 2. Indicate your trajectory approaching the burial site, usually around 5 to 7 meters away. Using your helmet in an intentional way works great here. And 3. Indicate your strongest beacon signal with a glove or something else so you have a center point for your systematic probing. Marking these 3 spots gives you spatial references that really help you keep your cool under pressure.
Don't worry, you're gonna do great. You've already taken the first step, watching this video and committing to practice as well. Good luck, you got this.